Hello, I'm making this video to show you how quarks are formed, to talk more on how quarks are formed, and to show you beta decay formula for after I show you how quarks are formed, show you the beta decay formula so you'll understand the formula. This is an 8-string gluon. We've already talked previously on how gluons were formed. Okay. These strings, 2 of these strings in an 8-string gluon, which is the normal gluon of the proton, converts, I don't know how, to gamma, 2 strings at a time, and deposit themselves and transmute into or undergo leptogenesis on the very polar region of the gluon. Now it's a 6-string gluon because it's lost 2 strings from the inner core of the 8-string gluon that did not have leptons attached. Now it has leptons attached. One is an electron, one is a positron. The electron is on the outer. It's negatively charged. This is negatively charged, negative 1/3. And these charges from these leptons bonded together, not annihilating, spinning, generating their charge, while attached, bonded by the weak force right here and right here. And the weak force is what bonds them at the poles, or regions at the gluons. It was what bonds the gluon strings at the poles. These 2, I don't know yet. Yeah, I'm still researching it. What initiates beta decay? Why 2 strings will become gamma, emit themselves, and deposit themselves on the polar region of the down quarks of 6-string gluon. These leptons don't annihilate because they are bonded by the weak force, and they are perfectly balanced. That's all I know about not annihilating. I know sometimes they don't annihilate. I've heard in MRI machines, and they can go for a distance in the machine, a positron, and they've detected positrons by the machine. I've heard that. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to check more into that to make sure I'm not giving you hokum. Anyway, these gluons are formed by waveforms. Perfectly combined, coherent waveforms that look like this. And this is a down quark, by the way. And quarks are leptogluons. This is the waveform that produces them. This is where the gluon is produced. It's produced by fundamental strings. And remember, by in the later videos, in the past video, I said these should be drawn with little circles, just like the electron string. But I can't do it with, it would be immense amount of work to do with a pencil. But anyway, each line represents fundamental strings bonded into this shape produced by these waveforms. You see the waveform? Now look at this waveform. Each one of these is a waveform, and they're put together like this in the perfectly combined coherent waveform is what they would be called, the perfect name for them. I am coining the name. Anyway, if this is coming right out of the page, the gamma wave, the perfectly combined lasered gamma wave, is coming right out of the screen into your eye. That's what it would look like. Each waveform in that waveform I showed you has the same frequency and the same amplitude. It has to stack those bosons when they can, well, to stack those strings when they come around at the poles into those strings that come off of it. And again, I'm going to describe this to you. The structure they produce looks like this. And I do this in past videos. And I'm going to do it again and again and again. Imagine taking a hula hoop in each hand, shoving one inside the other until they're equally put in distance. And they are bonded at the poles, where you got two hula hoops. Now take another hula hoop and put it right in between those at the halfway point. And now take another hula hoop and put it right in between that at the halfway point. Now take another hula hoop and put it right in there, that at the halfway point, until you get 8 hula hoops. That's what an 8-string gluon looks like. Okay. This is what quarks Okay, when the 8-string gluon beta decays, it deposits 2 of its strings on the polar region of the gluon, a positron and an electron. Every time it beta decays, it loses the positron and electron, and it looks like this. Focus. Well, Is that focusing there? Well, I'm going to do that bigger. This is exactly the same as the Feynman diagram, except for this is your I messed that up. Well, I'm going to make another video on that anyway. This video is getting long. Well, take in the information. I need to do my art. I'm not a great artist. Anyway, the takeaway from this video, what I want you to get is beta decay. The only particles that beta decay are gluons. Also, when they beta decay, they lose strings that are in their structure that are converted to gamma, emitted onto the outside of the gluon, where you have two leptons, an electron and a positron, and they're bonded by the weak force, and the weak force keeps them from annihilating somehow. This is the only way in nature the down quark can have the electron, unless the down quark produces the electron, because the electron has to be bonded to the down quark, and it's not in a valence. It's bonded. No particles in the nucleus are in a true valence. CERN thinks they see valence particles right now from their high energy experiments, but I just think they're producing particles by giving it more energy, and then when the energy is released, the particles dissipate. And it goes back to being a normal proton under STP on Earth, and it just has its constituent quarks. But on the other hand, the proton weighs over 900 MeV. It's what I saw. I mean, that's the specs I seen on the proton weight from my book. And there's a lot of mass in there. They don't know where it comes from and where it goes under certain circumstances. That's a takeaway from this video. Those strings inside turn into gamma, emit two strings, one an electron, one a positron, and the electron positron and 6-string gluon make a down quark. Thank you.